We are flying back to our boat Symphony in Grenada. She was on the hard for 4.5 months during hurricane season. We were planning on spending a few days getting things back online and then starting out on our 3rd season cruising. But unfortunately, our problems piled up, and after making it into the Grenadines, we ended up turning around and going back to Grenada to deal with some serious problems with the boat. Follow along as we get a false start on our next season.
'Cause even in the madness, there is peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you are writing a symphony, a symphony. Oh.
All right, we're back on the boat and everything looks great. It actually smells like a new boat. So no mold, which was really one of the big worries with it being down here in the heat of Grenada and the humidity. The reason it's in such good shape is we've been paying a guy, Yako, to come every week or two to check everything, to swap out the dehumidifier packs and just kind of make sure that the boat's in order. They call it guardianage, people who watch over boats, and they're kind of project managers for when you're away from boats. So he made sure that other things got done, like fixing the plexiglass window on the front of the boat and other things that I needed done that I couldn't do because I'm not here, he could do, and it's worked out really well. Boat's in great shape, and this should not be very long at all to get this thing back into sailing shape. All right, it's splash day. They're gonna put Symphony in the water. We've been doing a lot of work trying to get the boat ready to go in. And there are a couple of things broken, but in general, it's looking good. Here's where one of our big problems happen. Notice our boat rotating. There's a big metal trailer underneath us gouging into the fiberglass. We didn't hear a thing, but it was a big mess, and we didn't notice it. Mental note, check the bottom of your boat when you splash with a trailer. All right, we're in the water, and a lot of stuff has been going on. It's calmly chaotic when you go in the water, and we were no different. They dropped us in, and then there was no room on the docks. You can kind of see it's really full over there. And they found us a spot at the tip of this dock, and then another boat had to move. And anyway, it just gets kind of crazy in here. And to compound the complications, our sails weren't on. We didn't have our dinghy. We didn't have all the stuff that we had in storage. So we're still kind of waiting on things. I think we'll spend the night here on the dock, and then we'll move on. The only major problem we have is our brand new or year-old fridge freezer. The fridge side is not working, so we got to get that figured out. I got a guy coming tomorrow to check it out, and hopefully it's just kind of a broken part and we'll be able to fix it. We have another fridge outside and another freezer, so we can still do the provisioning that we wanted to do. We just probably won't have all the space that we want for refrigerated items, so we'll put that off until tomorrow. Key to this is just being flexible, being firm when you need something, and but not a and things will get done and you'll be good. Okay, we are off the dock. We are leaving Clark's Court and sailing around the corner to Port Louis, where there are some buoys. It's probably going to be really crowded, but we figured we'd take a look. If there's nowhere to anchor or tie up there, we can come back around the point, and we have a ball reserved over on this side. It's a little bit more convenient as far as getting to a grocery store and stuff like that without having a car. So back on the water, it feels good to have the boat moving, and I installed a multicolor helm light and it revealed that water gets in the helm roof. I need to drill a drain hole at the back of the roof so this stuff doesn't keep sloshing on me.
Going in.
Saltwater feels good.
Good.
First swim, right?
First swim.
Woo! All right, well, I was thinking that there wasn't going to be much to splashing because everything's gone so well so far. This morning, I turned on one of the ACs and I smelled an ammonia smell, and about 5 minutes later, all AC power went out on the boat. The inverter isn't showing any display lights. The display is showing that it's on, but it's off. The giant fuses seem fine, so I gotta go diagnose that. We were gonna go up and do a tour of Grenada. I gotta stick around and do this, but Aaron is gonna film all this stuff today, so hopefully that'll go well. Apparently they were expecting a lot more people on this tour than just our gang. This is Fort Frederick, built in 1779 by the French before the British took it.
Yes. Oh, sweet kitty. This is Fort Frederick, and it was built by the French, I believe, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Kitty going on tour with us. Come on, baby. So Todd is out there right now.
This place has an unusual shape for forts of its time, with 5 sides, most likely due to the geography of the hill on which it stands.
Arundel waterfall, and we came here earlier this year with the nephews. It's a really beautiful place. There's a treehouse restaurant that is supposed to be really neat at night. It looks like you're dining in the trees. We're looking for the monkeys. And here are the monkeys. We're gonna go down to the lake and maybe they will have some monkeys at the lake. Last time we were here, we saw an angry monkey by the lake.
Unfortunately, they never saw the monkeys. Belmont Estate is a historic plantation focused on preserving Grenada's agricultural heritage. They work on sustainable farming, including cocoa and chev, among other things.
These are like 200 years old. They used to use these for coffee. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Right, you can go.
Alright.
Okay, you can go.
Yeah. Can I just... Yummy, yummy.
The place where they actually make the chocolate was the highlight of the tour. We have a lot of this chocolate on our boat now.
As a cocoa roaster. So we're going to throw 2 buckets at a time. After you put in buckets, over there, put in the chocolate.
I spent the day troubleshooting the inverter, and it was not looking good. All right, well, after digging through and going through a bunch of troubleshooting with just cats, our inverter is dead. Now, that shouldn't be such a huge problem, right? Because most of the stuff on the boat is DC. But we've been doing electric cooking, so we can't cook anymore. We can use gas. We removed our gas oven that we never used. So everything's electric on here, and AC that we use for cooking. Air conditioner, we can live without AC, but it is really hot. It's Grenada. I'm gonna go into the marina here and talk with a guy that's there working on wind therapy, and he seems to know everybody on the island, so he'd be able to figure out if we could get the part here, if anybody could even install it. It's a huge box, and man, it's gonna take some manhandling to disconnect it, put a new one in, and then reprogram, and it's gonna be a while. I think we're gonna be in Grenada for a while. So, quick update. I found somebody in Grenada that can do the work, that can look at the inverter and figure out what's wrong with it. Unfortunately, he's retired, but then he recommended another guy, and I got another recommendation of that same guy. And so, I'm pretty sure that somebody here can take a look at it and see if we can get things fixed. In the meantime, right now, the way that this is set up, if the generator is running, we still don't get AC power, alternating current. And so we need to switch the configuration around a little bit on this dead unit so that the AC power from the generator comes through and we can do the things that we need AC for, which is cooking, charging up devices that plug into the wall, and running the air conditioner if we need it, just to cool things down, because it's really hot here. A lot of stuff on the boat is DC. Our water maker is DC. All the fridges and freezers are DC, and we have a whole 12 volt system that I put upgraded plugs into, so we can use USB-C and charge a bit quicker. So it's an inconvenience. It's kind of a big inconvenience, but it's not earth-shattering, and we'll get things figured out. We'll just have to be here a little longer than we were planning. Anyway, I'll give an update once we find somebody who can look at this. All right, while we're waiting for the parts, our boat's in order, so I'm gonna go have an adventure today. Aaron's got to stay on the boat and do school like a nerd, and I'm gonna go with Jeff from Wind Therapy. Adrian's in the States on a quick family visit, and so it's just me and Jeff, and we are going to go up and check out a waterfall. So ready for our first Grenada adventure of the new season. Bye.
We found a driver at the marina willing to take us to this waterfall we had read about.
Just to confirm, we're paying a guy to take us into the woods with a machete.
Exactly.
Our guide's name was Elvis. He smoked quite a lot on the hike, but seemed to know what he was doing.
They use that red part for cosmetics, and the shell I've heard you can use for barbecue, and then the seed obviously for nutmeg.
Initially, we were going to do this hike on our own, but it became clear quickly the guide was needed just to find it. I think we crossed this river 4 or 5 times.
Golden apple?
This one you can try that.
We tried probably 20 different. No, we have. All right, we're almost to Fontainebleau waterfall. It is so deep in here. It's beautiful. This is the kind of hike we were hoping we were going to get.
There were really heavy rains in the previous days, and this massive tree fell right in front of the waterfall. The tree took out a huge chunk of the mountain across from where it stood. When you're filming with another person who also has a YouTube channel, this sometimes happens.
All right, we're on our way back down from Fontainebleau. This is a really great hike. You definitely need a guide, even though we give Elvis a hard time about not really needing him. You would not be able to find this trail if you didn't know a guide. It's 40 US for the two of us, up and down. And well worth the hike. It's beautiful, and just way out there, which is the kind of stuff that we really like doing. Grenada is just a beautiful, beautiful place. That's a yam?
There's so much food here.
I know.
Crazy.
You get like right on the edge of the trail. Yeah, I don't want to lose bananas.
We got to get on camera also for our YouTube video. Our YouTube channel. Okay, that'll be all right. We're very famous.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're very famous. Yeah.
So
So you're an influencer, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Elvis, thanks so much. That was awesome.
You guys want to get swimming pool on?
Yeah, we're gonna go rinse off. All right, it was a long hike, very hot, and the waterfall at the bottom is amazingly cold. So we're hanging out here, relaxing, and then we'll head back to the boat. What a great diversion, sitting and waiting for parts. All right, so we have been waiting for many days for a Victron technician to come out to our boat and take a look at our inverter. He just came out, he was super nice, and he realized pretty quickly that this is a major problem. That to get it repaired in Grenada would take 2-3 weeks to get it done. And we just don't want to sit here that long for something that is a convenience. It's not 100% required. When we need power to the plugs, we can just turn on the generator. We bypassed the Victron, and so if we really need AC power, we can do it. And then we run off the battery for everything else. So we can just operate this way until we get to a place where we can spend 3 weeks or longer to get the thing fixed. Now, as luck would have it, we're going home for Christmas. So we're putting the boat up in Guadeloupe for about a month. And Jean-Michel, the technician from Grenada, who is French, was super nice, and he offered to call the company in Guadeloupe and explain to them in French what we were wanting to do. So Jean-Michel called and got it straight with them. I sent an email with our information, and I'm just gonna chase down any kind of little things that we need to do before we get to Guadeloupe in about a month. And in theory, we should get this fixed while we're off the boat. And the Victron has a 5-year warranty, so this should be a pretty inconsequential thing for us financially. So that's the gist of it. Unfortunately, the weather is not great for the next several days, so we're still here in Grenada. We're not going to leave until Tuesday or Wednesday. That's the plan. We've got 4 days to kill, and so we're just going to keep chugging away at our to-do list to have the boat in ship shape to cruise for the rest of the season, and hopefully this is the last of our big problems.
As it turned out, this was wishful thinking.
We are finally underway after waiting in Grenada to have our inverter looked at and waiting for a little bit of weather to clear. We're on our way. We're heading north to Beckway. It's about a 65 nautical mile trip. So we left really early. We left in the dark at 4:30 this morning. It's 6:30 now, and we're just making it around the north end of Grenada, and we'll get some of the open ocean and the open wind, and hopefully we'll be sailing. We have the main up, but the angle is 30 degrees, and I don't anticipate it being any better the rest of the day. So we might just be beating into it and using the engines.
It's amazing how the human eye can pick out very tiny things. We spotted some whales just as we got north of Grenada. Well, this has been pretty miserable. wind angle is right on our nose. So we put the main up, but we weren't able to get anything because the wind shifted around, and then there's a big current from the east that we're compensating for. So yeah, wind's just right on our nose the whole way. So we can't get to Beckway in time. It'll be sunset, and while we know the place, I'd rather come in with some visibility. So we're gonna pull into Union Island, and Shane and Tanya are there as well. So we'll go hang out with them and catch up, and then we'll head on to Beckway tomorrow morning. So a little delay, but this was good. It's a short delay, but we'll just get there tomorrow. All right, we are in Union Island. This is a small island just north of Carriacou, and it's part of the Grenadines. And you might have seen some interesting videos online of people jumping kiteboards over a little island, and that's here. It's a great kiteboarding spot. There's a reef, and there's this area behind the reef that you can kite back and forth on, and you have really consistent wind right here. I went over to the kite school and grabbed a lesson. We didn't kite here. We went to a place around the corner that had a lot more room and had a great lesson until this huge storm rolled through and kind of killed the lesson. But I'm gonna go back out again tomorrow and do some more kiting. I think we're gonna move the boat over there to make things a little bit easier, and that way I can, you know, kite after the lessons as well. So I like this place. Union Island is a nice peaceful little island, good restaurants. The boat boys are a little pushy in the mooring field here, but you know, just kind of follow the rules that you read about online, and everything will be fine. All right, so off to Happy Island to go meet up with Seascape and our friends Inca Cross, who are up on a boat right up there near Happy Island. We're gonna go hang out, have a drink, and just kind of enjoy the day and plan out the next couple of days. All right, we're in the Frigate Island anchorage, and there are a lot of kiters here today. Gonna hang out, gonna go kiting in a couple of hours, spend a couple of hours in there, and then pass out from exhaustion this evening. All right, day 2 of kiting. Yesterday, actually day 3 of kiting. Yesterday was a lesson, I had a lesson the day before, and I've just been working on how to turn. It's one of those things that you watch people do it and it's amazing, and then you get there to do it and you get all twisted up. So today I don't have a lesson, I'm just gonna go kiting. The wind is still just amazing here. It's 17, 18 knots, really consistent all the way across the bay. So there's a ton of kiting and foiling activity here. Even though we diverted here and we weren't even planning on coming here, that's the beauty of this. Without any kind of real schedule, we can stop and stay wherever we want for as long as we want and then move on. So we're gonna take advantage of this wind and this spot and just soak it in. This is Frigate Anchorage, Union Island. Really amazing time to be here with the wind being the way it is. So we're digging into it. All right, today we're supposed to head up to Beckway, but we've run into a bit of a problem. So we have a couple of problems going on right now. We have our inverter is dead, and we've noticed over the last couple of days that the generator is having a hard time starting. I don't think it's a battery issue. I think it's a starter issue on the generator. And then this morning, as part of our pre-check for leaving, I checked the oil in the engines. I checked the engine oil and I checked the sail drive oil. Well, when I checked the sail drive oil, it looked like there's water in there. That's the port side and starboard side. Both look like they have water in them. So now we've got to make big changes to our plans because things keep breaking, and they're things that I can't fix. Like this, these are the seals around the shaft where the prop goes into the sail drives. Those are probably leaking, and they're getting water into the sail drives, which are kind of like the transmission on a car. You don't want water in your transmission. So I'm gonna go change the oil in both of those just to get us back to Grenada
we'll start lining up people, and we're gonna have to haul out for this. So we got to get the generator fixed. We're gonna go ahead and get the inverter fixed there. We're gonna get these sail drives fixed, and this might mean a total reset where we just go home and get all this stuff fixed, and then we'll come back after Christmas and start over and change all of our plans that way. Now we could push further north, but it's the unknown. There's certainly people that can do this work up in Martinique, but that's a ways. If we have to motor, then that's could potentially damage the sail drives a lot if there's a lot of water getting into them. So I want to use the motors just barely. And with the generator starting to go out, we lose AC power, which is not a huge deal, but it's really inconvenient. And so all those things we combined, we should go to where we know how to get these things done, and that's heading south. So we're gonna have to go down to Grenada and figure this out. Big bummer. I was really looking forward to Thanksgiving with all of our friends in Beckway, but it's just not gonna happen. And we just got to deal with the changes, and we'll figure it out. So, not exactly what we were expecting, but we eventually figure it out. Thank you so much for watching. I should be back to creating regular episodes now, no more breaks. We're back on the water and all the way up to Martinique, actually. Next week, we'll cover resplashing and all the fixes that got done over the Christmas break. If you want to see where we are in real time, check out our tracker. It's in the video description. Follow us on Instagram to see pictures and video of what we're doing right now. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.